Today we're taking a wild and wacky ride into the captivating realm of one of nature's most charming and crafty creatures, the Fennec Fox. Now, if you're sitting there scratching your head and wondering what in the world a Fennec Fox is, well, you're in for a real treat. Picture a critter so small that it could easily tiptoe into your shoe and have a cozy snooze, yet so smart that it could outsmart you in a round of chess without breaking a sweat. Intrigued? Excellent. Let's set off on this adventure. First off, let's chat about the name. Fennec Fox. It just rolls off the tongue so smoothly, doesn't it? Sounds like a posh French pastry, but nope, it's actually this teeny tiny fox that calls the scorching Sahara desert home. And let me tell you, they are the perfect example of small but fierce. I mean, these little guys are so diminutive, if they were any tinier, they'd be mistaken for flecks of pocket fluff. But don't be fooled by their size, these fluffy balls are armed with some seriously nifty survival tricks. Now, the Fennec Fox has these humongous ears. And when I say humongous, I mean humongous. Their ears are so huge that they look like they could catch satellite signals from the far reaches of Mars. But here's the twist, those ears aren't just for making them look absurdly adorable, even though they do that job splendidly. Nope, those ears are like the all-purpose tools of the animal kingdom. They help them detect the slightest scuttle of a bug beneath the sand, and they also act as inbuilt air conditioners. That's right, folks. When the Sahara sun is transforming the desert into a fiery oven, those big old ears come to the rescue, helping them cool off by shedding all that excess heat. So, while you're sweating buckets in the summer heat wave, the Fennec Fox is just kicking back and relaxing, quite literally. Speaking of relaxing, let's talk about where these foxes chill. They reside in the Sahara Desert, which, if you weren't aware, is basically like living in a colossal sandbox where the thermostat is forever stuck on broil. But the Fennec Fox couldn't care less. They have a whole maze of underground tunnels where they spend their days snoozing and evading the sun's rays. And when night falls, they come out to have a blast, by which I mean, they go hunting for grub. What do they chow down on, you ask? Well, pretty much anything they can lay their tiny paws on. Bugs, rodents, birds, fruits, if it's edible, it's on their menu. And guess what? They don't even need to guzzle water. They get all the moisture they need from their food. Meanwhile, I can't last more than 2 hours without gulping down a gallon of H2O. But hold on, there's more. These foxes are digging maestros. They can whip up a snug underground den quicker than you can shout "Bob's your uncle." And they don't just dig a plain hole, they fashion these elaborate burrows with multiple entrances and exits. It's like a mini fox version of an underground palace. They're like the architects of the animal kingdom, except they don't ask for an arm and a leg for their services. Now, here's where things get truly fascinating. The Fennec Foxes aren't just brainy, they're also quite the social butterflies. Unlike your average fox that prefers to live the solitary life, or should I say, lone fox, Fennec Foxes are all about family. They live in groups and look out for one another, especially when it comes to raising their precious little cubs. And when they communicate, oh boy, do they have a mouthful to say. They can bark, screech, purr, and make all sorts of noises that, if you heard them in the dead of the night, would likely have you dialing the local Ghostbusters in a jiffy. But despite all these remarkable traits, the Fennec Fox is somewhat of an underdog in the animal kingdom. Their habitat is shrinking, and they face perils from humans who think it's a brilliant idea to turn them into exotic pets. So, let's give these little champs the respect they deserve. They're not just cute mugs, they're survivors, engineers, and, dare I say, little desert wizards. Alright, here's a fun tidbit to wrap things up. Did you know the Fennec Fox's ears are so sharp at picking up sounds that they could probably hear you munching on snacks in the next room? Yep, they're basically the ultimate snack sensors. So next time you're sneaking that midnight snack, just keep in mind somewhere out there, a Fennec Fox might be giving you the side eye. And there you have it, folks. The Fennec Fox, tiny, adorable, and cooler than a polar bear at a pool party. Stay tuned for more wild and wacky animal tales. And remember, if it's got big ears and a sassy strut, it's probably a Fennec Fox.